Hello everybody and welcome to another Everton show. This week we'll be looking back at the last away game before Christmas, which was another afternoon of what might have been at Norwich City. And we'll be assessing the challenge that the Premier League leaders will bring to Goodison Park on Saturday, and all in the company of Ian Snowden. It doesn't sound right, does it? The Premier League leaders, Leicester City.
You certainly don't, but they're there on merit, does. They've had some fantastic results, great performances, couple of players, absolute fire they're on for Leicester, so we're in for a difficult game.
Is it as simple as keep Vardy and Mahrez quiet and you'll beat Leicester City?
Obviously, they're the main two. They're exciting, they're scoring goals. I think we've got the players to look after them too, but also the rest of the team are working exceptionally hard. So that's what we're going to have to do to match them.
Those two players are getting all the headlines, so strangely, because they are top of the league, Claudio Ranieri has been a little bit low-key, hasn't he?
He's done fantastic, hasn't he? And you can see after games, he really embraces the lads embrace him. He must be doing something right, because it seems one happy camp at the minute.
Claudio Ranieri could be in for the Chelsea job, couldn't he? You never know. Plenty more to come from Ian throughout this week's show, and we'll also enjoy listening to this lot.
Jerry gives us that little bit different as well, you know, when we're a possession team, but he knows when to go in behind. So we have all the makings of a very good team. We just need to work a little bit harder on keeping the ball out of the net.
The club came to myself and a Whitechapel and said that they wanted to pick them and help them get involved. And me and Stones have had a fair share of rapping and putting boxes together. So yeah, they'll definitely go to good homes.
We go out on the pitch and try and do our best for the fans and for days like this to make people proud of us, and you know we want to come and, as I say, put a massive smile on the face, and to see that's made my day.
The amount of goals that they are doing, they'll always have a chance to be successful, so we'll have to be ready for it, but we're playing at home and we feel that with the support of our fans we can take anyone at this present time.
You know, to score 11 goals on the bounce means that you have a lot of quality. Like Van Nistelrooy had 10, and you know, to do 11 is something special.
We look forward to Leicester City a little bit later on, Snods, but let's start talking about Norwich City last weekend. Was that a case very much of another 2 points lost?
Do we have to talk about it, Des? To be truthful, I thought it was probably one of the best performances by a Premier League team away from home that I've seen all season, that first half. I thought we were exceptional, really did. All right, we missed some chances, some good chances as well, but overall I thought the first 45 minutes was outstanding. Second 45 minutes, you could expect a little bit different from Norwich. They had to come out, they were the home team, they had to attack us, and they certainly did. It were end-to-end that second half.
Certainly a second half to forget from an Everton point of view, though, that's for sure. Well, I had the former Everton and Northern Ireland midfielder Brian Hamilton alongside me in the Carrow Road commentary box on Saturday afternoon, and like me and like Snods, he couldn't think of any better phrase than a game of two halves to describe the 90 minutes. It was that sort of afternoon, and even Roberto Martinez himself cut a rather frustrated figure after the final whistle.
The result is, it fills you of an incredible disappointment, because we deserved the 3 points, but again is a real contrast of the two sides. First half we were so dominant, so in control. I thought we defended with a lot of energy, we pressed them really well, and we stopped the home side to have any sort of threat. I think the second half it went through the same way, if you want. I don't think we've seen a home team having a momentum, but we gave them the hope with considering with another dead ball situation. It's so disappointing. We had to defend a corner. We had 2 corners early on in the second half period, and we got heavily punished in an action where we should do a lot better. And you're looking at the consistency of the performances has been very, very strong. But clearly now we need to take that into our results. We need to become a winning team, and in the first half you just could see that we were performing in a way that it was worth the 3 points. So we need to find the management of that game in a manner that it gives us the 3 points, and that's probably the disappointment out of today.
At half-time, no less than Stuart Pearce in the press lounge said Everton should be 4-0 up, and he's right, isn't he?
Well, that's a disappointment, because obviously there are certain people that will look at the scoreline and you feel that it's been a level game. We knew that we had to start well. I thought going away from home you have to always just dictate the game early on, and we did that. I thought the way we created clear-cut opportunities was very pleasing. Obviously we'll always be critical of not taking those clear-cut chances, but we shouldn't be not being able to keep a clean sheet. When you stop a team so well like we did today, we kept Tim Howard very, very quiet. It's just a corner. We should have been defending that. In the other side, I think is the challenge that we got ahead. Is the time that we need to be together as a football club. We need the fans more than ever to understand that the talent that we have in the group, the attitude has been phenomenal. Otherwise, you wouldn't perform in the manner we do. And now we need the help of everyone to develop that know-how, which allows you to keep clean sheets and in that way get the 3 points at the end of it.
Snods, as I mentioned there, speaking to the gaffer after the game, I was speaking to Stuart Pearce at half-time, and he's right. We should have been 4-0 up. But when you're not, and you're on top so much and you're only 1-0 ahead, it's always likely to come back and bite you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what they always say in football. While you're on top that much, you need the second goal. And we had some great opportunities to get that second goal, but we didn't. And then you always felt, once at the half, you don't, as a player, you don't want the half-time whistle to come when you're so much on top. But when it did, you always think in the back of your mind, they only need to get one chance to get back in this. And they got it so early in the game as well.
We should have beaten Norwich. We should have beaten Bournemouth. We could have beaten Crystal Palace where we were unlucky. What needs to change?
I think we're creating chances. Obviously, we could have took one or two more down at Norwich, but we're creating chances. I don't think there's a lot wrong. I think it's just concentration levels a little bit from set plays, and we'll be there. We'll be all right.
And a little bit of luck maybe from time to time. But we like to accentuate the positives here on the Everton show, and I'm sure all Blues would have settled for having just 3 defeats by the time Christmas came around. It represents a solidity that many other teams would certainly settle for. But Seamus Coleman agrees with the suggestion that although it's good, it can be better.
We're disappointed. We're annoyed with ourselves. We created so many chances in the first half to win the game. We didn't score, which means we got to keep a clean sheet, and we didn't do that. So very disappointing.
If Jerry puts those crosses right on Rom's head, they're very difficult to defend, aren't they?
Yeah, they've been fantastic, the two of them this season. That partnership has been brilliant for us, and something that we've really enjoyed watching, and they're very dangerous going forward. And you know, it's up to us now as a group we know that there's goals in the team. It's up to us now to make sure that we don't have to win 2-3-0 to win a game. We need to tighten up a bit, and you know, set piece cost us tonight.
Points are difficult to come by away from home in the Premier League, but do the boys consider this another 2 points lost?
Yeah, without a doubt, especially the way the game went with how we started and so on. But look, it's hard getting a point away from home, but the players we've got in there, we're wanting to win every game, and that's why we're so disappointed.
But at the start of the season, had we said going into the Christmas period we still would only have lost 3 games, we'd have probably taken that, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we probably would have, especially the run of games that we've had early on as well. We had a quite difficult start, but you know, now that we have got going, and we just want to win every game, and we're disappointed, especially the way the games have the way the games have gone. You know, and going a goal up, 2 goals up against Bournemouth and a goal up today, it's disappointing.
Not only should we have been 4-0 up at half time because of the chances created, but some of our football was sensational, wasn't it, in the first 45?
Yeah, look, everyone is playing with that confidence this season. We all want to get in the ball, make angles for each other, and Jerry gives us that little bit different as well. You know, when we're a possession team, but he knows when to go in behind. So we have all the makings of a very good team. We just need to work a little bit harder on keeping the ball out of the net.
Seamus Coleman there, Snods. This will make you feel old. His 200th appearance, if selected, at the weekend.
Fantastic. I hope he goes to play another 200 as well, because he's the kind of player that I admire, Seamus. I played that position several times for Everton, and he does it fantastically well. Not only defensively now, he's become a really solid defender, but what he gives you going attacking wise. I used to like to get forward, but I didn't even score a goal. This kid scores 7 goals a season. He's incredible. He's a lovely kid as well, and that's what I like about him. But long may he continue in an Everton shirt.
I was speaking to him early this week at Finch Farm and about his 200th appearance, and we were recalling his debut against Benfica when he really did get run ragged and Everton were walloped 5-0. And it just shows the strength of character of the boy, because he could have gone under there, couldn't he?
Yeah, to say he come from Ireland for £60,000, it's quite unbelievable as well, when the kind of money that's been thrown about in the Premier League, and he cost 60,000, and now he's probably the best right back in the Premier League in my eyes. He's done fantastically well, and he deserves every success he gets.
And as he says, that all the boys are playing with confidence. Everybody wants the ball. You do get a feeling, Snods, don't you, that at some point someone's really going to get it. We're going to rack up another big win.
I thought Norwich were going to get it. I really did. But yeah, they're all playing with confidence. The more you talk to them, they're all enjoying the football. They know we should have more points than what we've got. But it's not as though we're not playing well. We're playing attractive football. We're creating chances. We just need the points to go with that.
When we get the team sheet in the commentary box on a match day, one of the first things you look for is the strength of the bench. And it's Joel Robles and 6 internationals.
It's quite incredible. And even the lads that are injured and not in the team, you forget about them. We've got one hell of a squad. And as you say, I always look at the bench straight away and I think we're in good condition here. We've got a great squad.
The squad is big enough and the squad is certainly good enough, that's for sure. And that brings us to the end of part 1 of this week's show. We'll take a quick break now, and when we come back we'll accompany the first team squad to Alder Hey Children's Hospital. We follow Stephen Naismith as he treats the homeless, and we'll reflect on the Everton under-21s draw with Tottenham Hotspur earlier this week. Welcome back to part 2 of this week's programme. The festive period is, of course, a busy one for football. Plenty of games to play and plenty of points to be won, but that doesn't mean that the players don't find time to do their bit. Earlier this week, one of the highlights of this time of year took place when the lads and the boss called into the brand new Alder Hey Children's Hospital.
Well, this is my 10th time doing it, and it's good to see some familiar faces, and the staff has remained the same, but more importantly, we're putting smiles on families' faces, and it's just a little diversion, and we get to talk to the families and share some smiles, and it's nice.
You feel welcome straight away, and then obviously to have probably the younger generation looking up to the players, and the players are just blown away by their warmth and their interest, and I think it's a beautiful time of the year, and it's unfortunate that some of these young patients have to be here over Christmas, but it is creating a really nice moment and a nice memory for everyone. But you can see it's a really good atmosphere. As soon as you walk into the hospital, the whole staff are doing a fantastic job, because the building is terrific and the project is terrific, but it's the people that make it work.
I think it's very unique to come to a hospital and see the little kids' smiles, see the footballers, players, and we're giving out presents, so it's nice to come and spend time with little kids.
It's inspiring me, enjoy more what you have and you're around your family. I think everyone we need to look around and be happy, because we are good and not have problems.
It's great that the boys give time up, but as I say, it's not a chore. It's not a chore to come and see these poorly kids in hospital over Christmas. It's a blessing that the boys are here and to bring a smile and bring happiness to them over the Christmas period.
We got good people. We got very good footballers, as we all know, but they are terrific human beings and great footballing ambassadors and Everton ambassadors, and the human side is very clear.
You don't realise you can make such an impact on someone, and by even just showing your face. I mean, the beautiful girl that was in there couldn't speak, bless her. She learned sign language, and just to give her a wave and to see a little smile on her face is massive for us, because we go out on the pitch and try and do our best for the fans and for days like this to make people proud of us. And we want to come and, as I say, put a massive smile on the face, and to see that's made my day.
Snods, you were there with the lads at Alder Hay. It's a terrific facility, isn't it?
Absolutely incredible. But the day before, me, Sharpie and Graham Stewart as ambassadors went to three other hospitals before that, and it was fantastic, us three going round and seeing the smiles. And then I went with the players to Alder Hay. Great facilities, as you say, but you don't want to be in there. The boys obviously embraced it, going to see the poorly kids, but you just feel sorry at this time of year, or any time of the year, to see young children wired up to monitors, etc. But to see the faces of not only them, but the parents as well, when the players walk in. And some players are a little bit more comfortable than others. The players with children are more understandable with what's going on. But overall, just all the team embraced it, wanted to be there. And yeah, it was nice.
It's terrific for the staff as well, is it?
Yeah, the staff are great. They deserve everything that's said about them because they're terrific, the staff at Alder Hay. And yeah, they embraced us being there and we embraced them.
It really is one of the highlights of the year. Well, Stephen Naismith has been spreading a bit of Christmas cheer himself recently. Our Scottish international has traditionally paid for a Christmas dinner for the homeless people of Glasgow, and it's something that he was really keen to do here in Liverpool when he first joined Everton back in 2012. So he contacted the Whitechapel Centre, made some arrangements and duly paid for and helped serve some Christmas dinner for the homeless people of Liverpool. This year's visit to Whitechapel was last week, and it remains a source of pride to the Scot.
It was a thing that I wanted to get involved in down in Liverpool when I moved, because I'd started off in Glasgow and it worked very well, and it was about helping the homeless and raising awareness for the people less fortunate than myself and many others. And I've had a very good relationship. I kind of donate the Christmas lunches for everybody and try and raise awareness, but it's a fantastic community that get involved, and they do some sort of great work putting on different classes for people to help them in the future. And no, you come and it's a fantastic experience.
You've made some good friends with the staff and the people here, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. And when you come back and there's new classes on, or there's new initiatives on, it's fantastic to hear, and they work incredibly well, and they've got the right balance of kind of serious things to be involved in, as well as keeping people's spirits up. And no, it's a great place, and I'm fortunate to be involved.
We know how special this place is to you, and I suppose it must be nice to see the club also helping the Whitechapel Centre with the Blue Box appeal.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, Everton, since I've came, have backed me, and they've been fantastic every year. And this year we've got the Blue Box appeal, which is another great thing to do, and it'll make a big difference for people. So it's fantastic that the club came to myself in Whitechapel and said that they wanted to pick them and help them get involved. And me and Stonesy have had our fair share of ramping and putting boxes together. So yeah, they'll definitely go to good homes.
What a terrific thing that is that Nazy does.
It's fantastic. I didn't know he did it in Glasgow. Obviously, I knew he did it down here, but no, it just sums the lad up. I know he does the thing with season tickets at the beginning of the season as well. But yeah, his generosity is fantastic. And people forget about what certain players do, but he deserves a round of applause, Nazy. He's a good lad and very generous lad.
He must be a very frustrated lad as well at the moment, because his career hit a new high when he scored a hat-trick against Chelsea. Now he can't get a game for love nor money. That's football.
It is football, and it's so frustrating when you're in that position. I've been in that position as well, that you can't get in because the lads are playing that well. But you'd rather be playing full stop, don't get me wrong, but when the team are playing that well, you just sit and admire and just wait for your chance and your opportunity to get in the team.
I'm sure he'll get his opportunity, won't he?
I hope so. I hope so.
He's got a goal in him, that's for sure, Stephen Naismith. Well, Everton under-21s are in decent form at the moment, and David Unsworth's side welcomed Tottenham Hotspur to Southport's Merseyrail Community Stadium on Monday evening and drew 1-1.
The effort and desire that we put into the game tonight, and we're hanging on in the end. But you know, overall, I thought we had some good periods of play. We started off really well, came back into it again second half. Got a great goal from Liam Walsh, fantastic goal. And then, unfortunately, I've not seen the decision back yet. The lads are telling me it's not a penalty, so it's one of those. But I thought it was a really good game. I thought it was a tough game. I think Tottenham are a very good team, and you know, in fairness, you know, a point is a good point.
Like you said, it was a great game, end to end. It must please you the amount of chances that we created as well.
Yeah, we had some great opportunities, but you know, I see that all the time. You know, we've got good players. thought our shape off the ball was fantastic and gave us the platform to when we got the ball to pass it really well. And we did carve them out on numerous occasions. So, but they had a couple of chances as well. I mean, Andros Townsend playing for them is, I thought he was fantastic, and for a senior player to put in that sort of performance, full credit to him. It was a really good game. I really enjoyed watching us tonight. I thought we were terrific.
It is a hard thing to get yourself into the game, but that's what subs are for. They've got to be ready when they come off the bench and try and create chances, score goals, defend for the team, and just make a big impact. And that's what you're there for.
And that's 4 games unbeaten now in Newcastle next week before the break. How confident are the lads going into that game?
I think we're very confident because we've played a few of the best sides in the league now, and we've won them over, got draws out of them. So with us not getting beat 4 on the bounce, then we can go into the Newcastle game with confidence and hopefully win it.
Is it looking now to get recovery ahead of Newcastle next week?
Yeah, I mean, we'll shut the lads down for a couple of days now, and I think that's really important that they recover properly. We will do anyway. We'll be in the morning, and we recover really well, and the lads will be in the gym and doing all the recovery work. So a couple of days we'll shut them down, and then we'll build up to next week, our last game before Christmas.
You've said before on the Everton show, Snods, how much you admire Liam Walsh because he loves a tackle. And the boy's got a goal in him as well, hasn't he?
He has, as we've just seen from there. Great little through ball and a good little neat finish. But yeah, he's a good little player, Walsh. I were only his size. I know I'm a bit bigger now, Daz. But I was only his size when I was his age. And so I know how it feels, but size don't matter to him. He loves a tackle, he can play. He wants the ball all the time. And I mentioned him before in the past. Terrific player.
4 games unbeaten now for the 21s. A long unbeaten run has to start somewhere, so it's so far so good.
Yeah, it is. Hunsy's delighted with him, as you can tell. As long as they keep improving, you do like to win the league. There's no question about it, whatever level you play at. But it's important that they keep improving as players and listening to Hunsy, what he has to say to make him a better player.
He's short of a few players as well, Hunsy, because he's got a few lads out on loan. Just tell us a little bit about Conor Grant, because he's at Doncaster Rovers and you're obviously very close to Doncaster Rovers.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried. I believe he's going to be our second best Everton player ever to play for Donny if he keeps going the way he is.
Behind your brother.
He is. He's scoring goals, the lad. He scored again against Crewe the other week. So, but no, I've been getting good reports of fans that go to the game and said, Ian, this Everton lad, Conor Grant, can we have him for the rest of the season? But if he keeps performing like that, I think he'll be looking for a push in our first team. But no, it's great experience. He's doing well. He's loving his football, scoring goals, and that's the main bit about it. He's got to enjoy it, and he certainly is.
It's a terrific experience for them, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
Growing up curve.
They've got to get out there and play in front of fans.
Well, that nicely wraps up part 2 of this week's Everton show. After the break, we'll have our big interview slot, and this week it's a good friend of Ian Snowdon's. It's a bona fide Everton legend, Kevin Sheedy. Don't go too far away. Welcome back to part 3 of the Everton show. Well, there are a few men who have figured more prominently in the history of Everton Football Club than Kevin Sheedy. Sheedy was one of the stars of the all-conquering 1980s side, scoring and setting up key goals in equal measure. He's now back at Finch Farm in his role coaching the next generation of Everton stars, and so it was a real thrill to sit down with him and look back at some of the good times, starting at the beginning of his Everton career.
It came about, I was in digs in Anfield, playing the last game of the season for Liverpool reserves against Preston. Got a phone call from Colin Wood, who was a newspaper writer for the Daily Mail, and he said, would I be interested in signing for Everton? And I said, of course, I'd be delighted to. He said, well, put the phone down and Howard Kendall will ring you up. So I put the phone down, thinking it was a prank from one of the lads, but sure enough, the boss, Howard, rang up and said he was going to come and watch me playing for Liverpool against Preston and, to do my best. So obviously I must have impressed him, and a week later I got a phone call to say come and sign for Everton. So the minute I met Howard, the boss, he didn't need to sell the club for me. I knew about the tradition of Everton. I'd watched a number of games midweek when I was still a Liverpool player. So I saw the likes of Sharpie make his debut, Kevin Ratcliffe getting the team, Adrian Heath making his debut, 750,000 from Stoke. So I saw the team the boss was putting together. So it was a great move for me, just moving across the city. A bit of pressure because obviously coming from Liverpool, the Everton supporters would, if I wasn't good enough for Liverpool, why would I be good enough for Everton? So I had to impress early on in my Everton career, which fortunately I did. I had a real good pre-season. I hit the ground running, and the supporters took to me, and it was the best 10 years of my football career.
You said your second game you scored. How easy did you find it to settle in and get going at Everton?
Really easy because the lads are still great friends now. I mean, build a bond, and the camaraderie. I got changed next to Kevin Ratcliffe, who went on to be the Everton's most successful captain. Got a real good friendship with him and the rest of the players because we were all young lads. We all hadn't achieved anything really in the game, so we were all dealing with it together for the first time. And I think the first game that I really knew that we had a great team was when we beat Man United 5-0 at Goodison. They were a good team, but on the day we totally outplayed them. I scored 2 goals, one with my head, which was a rare happening, but certainly after that game, you're looking at the team, Neville Southall, the best goalkeeper in the world at that time. We knew we had something going there, and obviously we went on to win the league and then the FA Cup and the Cup Winners' Cup. So it was just it took a little bit of time to get the team gelling together, but once it did, we hit the ground. We were capable of beating any team on the day.
Indeed, a lot has been said and written, particularly in the last few weeks with Howard Kendall passing, about the achievements on the pitch in the middle of the 80s, 2 league titles, European Cup Winners' Cup, the FA Cup. But can you tell us a bit about the team spirit, the dressing room, how fun it was to be part of that squad and the characters within that group?
Indeed, it was. We're at Belfield, based there, and it was a fantastic setting. Real family atmosphere. You loved going in. You're always early into training. You're always like last to leave. Because just the banter. You go in the dressing rooms. You got the characters like John Bailey, who was the funniest bloke ever. Real character. But we had lots of tough mental players, but we really gelled together. We socialised together as a team. We had a great camaraderie, and it showed on the pitch. So it was just really. I was very fortunate to be part of that team, and just the memories, both on and off the pitch. The pranks that we used to get up to, it was just fantastic times. And I think when we went on the pitch, we were a unit together, and everybody looked after each other.
Everyone thinks of you, Kevin, as a set piece master, brilliant free kicks. Did you practice them regularly? Was that something you was always keen to do? Spend extra time on the training pitch, making sure that part of your game was extra strong?
It was, yes, because when you got 40,000 people shouting your name every time there's a free kick, there's a certain amount of pressure on you. But certainly I did put the practice in. So after training, I just go through my routine of free kicks, and that's why I was successful with it. And I say to the younger players that you've got to practice. You can't just go out there and it just happens. You've got to have I watched David Beckham practicing his free kicks when I was playing for Ireland. We were playing Spain and we trained at Seville's training ground, and I saw Maradona coming out onto the training pitch and he was just practicing his free kicks. He was fantastic at them. So you've got to be able to practice. So fortunately it was something that I had in my repertoire, and left some really good memories for the Everton supporters.
Your double free kick against Ipswich, what do you remember about that day?
It was just a free kick, and I used to try and get on the ball very quickly just to see if you could take a free kick. The wall wasn't set properly. Paul Cooper wasn't set, and I bent it into his top right hand corner. The referee disallowed it, and I always remember Peter Reid coming over saying, "What are we going to do now?" Well, everyone knows Peter wasn't a goal scoring expert. I just said, "Just get it the way, Peter, and I'll just put it in the other side." So Paul Cooper over exaggerated to the right because he knew I could put it there. He left a nice little space to his bottom left, so I managed to dink it over the wall, and it was just a great feeling and a great memory to look back on.
We're still asking you about it now. The fans still remind you about that day?
Oh, they do. Because they ask me what's my best goal, and I ask them what do they think my best goal was, and the majority say the double free kick against Ipswich. So it's just fantastic to have left a memory for so many people.
Another thing I'm sure the fans all ask you about as well is your celebration in front of the Kop that day in 1987, was it? Is it?
It was, yes, yeah. It's probably one of my best strikes ever. It was about 25 yards out, and as soon as it left my boot, I knew it was in. It nestled right in the top corner, and for some reason, I went and give a two-finger salute to the Kop, which I got away with. It got called before the FA and managed to talk my way out of it. So it's again a special memory. It was nothing meant in it. It was just something that it wasn't planned or anything like that. And I still get the Liverpool supporters laughing about it as well. You know, they take it in good spirit as well. So again, another great moment.
And if you did that nowadays, you'd probably get banned with all the retrospective video evidence.
Oh, you would indeed, yes. I mean, the footage wasn't great. They got me. You could see it clearly, and I managed to talk my way out of it. So I wasn't really down in the FA very, much, because I didn't really get booked or anything like that. So I think they took that into consideration. But just great to look back on little memories like that.
And of course, moving on to next summer, there's tournament football, Euros taking place. What are your memories of playing in the tournaments with Ireland in '88, the Euros in '88 and the World Cup in 1990?
Just fantastic memories. Big games. It's just a different environment. You know, you're playing against countries. In '88, we were 6 minutes away from getting through to the semi-finals. We beat England 1-0. Ray Houghton scored with a header. We drew against Russia, and we needed a point against Holland to qualify, and they scored 6 minutes from time. So they were the best team in it. I mean, Hull had scored in the final. Van Basten scored that brilliant volley that everyone remembers. But I think it just gave all the players with Ireland the confidence that we could compete against the best teams and the best players in the world, and certainly that helped us the following 2 years to qualify for the World Cup in Italy in 1990. And again, it's just a different level of playing. You know, we played England the first game and scored Ireland's first ever World Cup goal. So it's a piece of history that I'll always have. And just the games, and we got through a penalty shootout against Romania, and then to play Ireland in the quarterfinals in Rome, 80,000 people there, just a fantastic atmosphere. And we just got beat 1-0 by Toto Schillaci scored. He was on fire in that tournament. We come really close. Jack Charlton said after, "You'll never know how close you've come to getting to the World Cup final," because we'd have got through against West Germany, who were an aging team. They still had Maradona, but he wasn't at the heights that he was. So just look back that we come real close. But again, fantastic memories to look back on, and to have played in the top tournaments is great.
Snods, tell us how good a player he was.
Oh, not only a good player, but a great lad. He's probably one of my closest friends still to this day. But what a fantastic player. Great left foot. Put the ball on a sixpence. I know Sharpie must have dreamed about playing with Sheeds, because every time he peeled off or wherever he went, Sheeds would find him. And he had a great rapport with Hinchy as well, because Hinchy had a run that he used to come short, and he used to tell Sheeds just to put it in the hole. So as he come short, the defender come with him, and Adrian had spin into the gap that Sheeds had put the ball. So they worked hard on training on it, but they were just naturally at it. And he got one of the best left foots I've ever seen.
Anybody that watched Everton in the 80s will know just how good Sheeds was week in, week out. What was he like in training? Did he maintain those unbelievably high standards?
Yeah, he did. In possession, you wanted to be on his team. Trevor Stephen as well. Trevor would work exceptionally hard for your team in possession, but Sheeds would hardly give the ball away. He'd knock it nice and neat, and then he'd switch play. So you'd always want to be on his team in possession. And even socially, I enjoy his company socially. A bit of a bore early doors. In the first hour or so, you think, what a boring man he is. But as the night proceeds, he gets funny. He really does. But at night, top man, top player. Yeah, I enjoy Sheeds' company.
The kids at Finch Farm are in good company, aren't they?
Certainly are. They only have to listen to him. I know he's had both his knees operated on, had new kneecaps put in, or I'm sure he'd be still showing them how to take a free kick. But if they just listen to the likes of him, then they'll not go far wrong in football.
Let's just change track a bit, Snods. The FA Cup, the replay was played the other night. Dagenham and Redbridge got the win at Whitehawk. They're struggling in League Two. It should be a formality, shouldn't it?
It should be a formality, but I've played in games against non-league opposition. I've been in that position where I played for Doncaster when we were in the lower leagues against good opposition, and you've always given them games. So we're going to have to be on his mettle, but I just believe that our squad that we've got, because I'm sure we'll make several changes, the squad what we've got surely has got enough to be at Goodison, to beat Dagenham. But it'd be fantastic for them, be fantastic for the fans. They'll make it difficult as they possibly can for us. But yeah, I'm hoping we're going to be in the fourth round after the game against Dagenham.
What will their mindset be, Snods? Will the manager say to them, go out and enjoy it? Or will he say, try and keep it tight for 20 minutes and see what we can get?
Yeah, they will. They'll not say, come on, we're here to make the numbers up. The fans are going to have a great day. Let's go out and enjoy it. You don't as a professional player. You go out and say, hey, come on, let's get into these. If they want to play and they don't want to tackle, let's go through with it. And they'll make it as difficult as possible for our boys. But I think we just got too much class. I think we will have too much energy for them. But they'll come and they'll give it a good go. But I can't see them going on with anything.
They'll be well backed as well, won't they?
They will be. There'll be plenty come to watch them that day.
One of the best days in the calendar, that FA Cup third round day. And that's just about it for part 3 of this week's show. After the break, we'll look ahead to the visit of the team that is without any shadow of a doubt developing into the story not only of this season, but potentially the story of the Premier League era. It's Everton versus Leicester City at Goodison on Saturday. Welcome back to the 4th and final part of this week's Everton show. And before we look ahead to Leicester City at the weekend, we've got another heartwarming story for you. 22 remarkable young children will accompany both sets of players out onto the pitch on Saturday. We've called the youngsters our 22 little heroes, and who better than Alder Hey patron Leighton Baines to tell us more.
There's been 22 little heroes who have been selected, and they've been asked to come down and be mascot at the Leicester game at Goodison Park, so they were all delighted and hope they can all make it. And Kenzie come down, helped me break the news, didn't you, and handed all the information out, and I think they were quite happy, weren't they? And you do your stretches and stuff?
Yeah, and I pretend to be Leighton Baines.
Do you? I pretend to be him sometimes as well. It's brilliant, and Kenzie's been looking after me today all day, bossing me about a bit. And he's just challenged me to a game of football as well, so we're going to have to sort that out in a minute, I think. But it's been brilliant. I had a great day, and hopefully some of the kids have as well. And I say it's broke up their sort of routine, the ones who were in here for a long time, and they've enjoyed it.
Snods, we run out of superlatives to use, don't we, to describe the work that Everton and the community do. And Leighton Baines, a patron of Alder Hey, fantastic. And isn't that lovely? 22 kids walking out with the players before the game on Saturday.
Touching, very touching. I know we'll be doing commentary that day, Daz, and when they walk out, there'll be a lump in my throat because it's so unfortunate that they're not very well, these kids, but to walk out at Goodison with their idols, a Premier League game, it'll be fantastic, and they'll have the biggest and best smile on the face they've had for a long, long time.
There'll be a lot of smiley faces, hopefully, at the weekend when we play Leicester City. It's our traditional festive day, the last home game before Christmas. It's always a lot of fun, isn't it, in and around the stadium?
It is. The atmosphere should be great. Leicester City are flying, top of the league. You wouldn't have thought that beginning of the season. You wouldn't have thought game against Leicester City at Goodison Park just before Christmas would be an important game as it is, but it's going to be a terrific game. I'm confident. I always am when we're playing. I know they're going well, but I'm confident we will get the result. But as long as everybody enjoys it, cheers us on, that's what we all want to hear.
And talk about lovely stories. What about Jamie Vardy? What a story that is.
Incredible. I did non-league football for TV, for Sky, quite a lot, and when he was playing, and I thought he had the ability to play higher, a lot higher. Premier League, you could have questioned it, but wow, he's done fantastically well. He looks quick, he looks sharp, he's hungry. He's an hungry player, and he's scoring goals for fun. So Stonesy and Murray will have a difficult job, but I'm sure the quality we've got, we probably be able to look after him.
He's the type of centre-forward that just doesn't stop, isn't
No,
he?
he doesn't. His work ethic's fantastic. He's got a nasty side to him as well. He'll leave a foot in. He wants to win. He's determined. But what I like about him, he's cool in front of goal. When he gets one-on-one situations, he knows how to finish.
And Vardy and Mahrez are Leicester's Big Rom and Jerry, aren't they?
They are. Mahrez he looks exciting, but hopefully that man in picture, Baines, he'll be able to look after him. But I'm looking forward to the game. I think it'll be exciting.
Hopefully it'll be a great day on and off the pitch. We might even see Santa Claus. Check evertonfc.com, by the way, to find out all the fun things going on Saturday. Right, let's really start the countdown now to the visit of the Premier League pace-setters. Now, not even the most ardent of Leicester City supporters, not even Gary Lineker, would surely have even contemplated their team sitting top of the pile as Christmas approached. But the Premier League table doesn't lie, and the Foxes will come to Goodison Park with 19 teams underneath them. It's a remarkable football tale, and one that Roberto Martinez has the utmost respect for.
is one of those incredible stories. They finished the season really strongly last season, and somehow they carry on with that momentum, with a new manager, with a fresh approach, and a team that's got no fear, and they got a lot of goals. A team that can score the amount of goals that they are doing, they'll always have a chance to be successful. So we'll have to be ready for it. But we're playing at home, and we feel that with the support of our fans, we can take anyone at this present time.
He's had a tremendous impact, Claudio Ranieri, hasn't he?
Well, I think he's got very good experience, and someone that is fitted in the right dressing room, in a group of players that they got a very strong spirit, and I think he's brought that know-how, that tactical awareness, and all in all, he's created a very powerful football team with a very significant spirit that allows you to be competitive throughout games. Now they are in a position in the league because they deserve it, and probably is how well we can face them at the weekend and make sure that we can be as close as them as we can.
It's not so many people in the media, particularly on television recently, have been asked the question, can Leicester City keep the pace up? Can they stay top of the Premier League pile? And almost everybody's saying, I don't think they will. Why is that?
I really don't know, because I think the same. I don't think they will, but they keep surprising you week in and week out with the performances. I just don't think they've got that strength in depth, does. If anything happens to Vardy or Mahrez, have they got somebody to come in and replace them? Don't know. But what I like about them, they're all playing with a smile on their face. When they win games, you can see the manager comes on, they're all embracing each other, they're all giving each other high fives. So the spirit in the camp is sky high at the minute. Hopefully it can get knocked down a peg or two on Saturday. But yeah, as I say, it's going to be a difficult game. But I just look at their team and I look at our team and I think, how many Leicester players will get in our team? And there's not many.
The spirit, as you say, is sky high. What they possibly haven't had yet is a test of character. They will have a blip. Every team does. If they lose one or two, how will they react?
Yeah, that's the big thing. I think the atmosphere at Leicester City's home games is quite incredible. When they played Chelsea, the atmosphere was absolutely buzzing. So I think it's great there. Away from home, they counter-attack. They score goals. But you're right, if we can go up 1 or 2 goals up, let's see how they react. And then it's a busy Christmas period. Will one defeat take them to another defeat or something? It's how they bounce back. But at the minute, you cannot question them. They're there on merit. They're the top of the league, and we're going in on Saturday as probably underdogs. But I don't see us as underdogs.
And strangely enough, the Leicester City fans will be disappointed, won't they, if they don't finish in the top 4?
Yeah, they will be, because you look at the points tally at the minute, and there's no reason why they shouldn't finish in the top 4, but I don't think they'll finish at the top.
What a football story it's been. Well, if Leicester City is the team story of the year, as Snods has been saying, there's little doubt that Jamie Vardy very much ticks the individual box. 15 goals already for the England striker makes an impressive reading. And of course, he found the net in 11 consecutive Premier League games. Well, our own Romelu Lukaku is hot on his heels, though, and he's just over halfway there with 6 straight goal-scoring league games under his belt. Big Rom's been speaking to us about the magnitude of Jamie Vardy's achievement.
Yeah, it's up to us to get the balance right between attacking and defending at that moment, because if we leave them too much space, we know that Vardy, Mahrez and Okazaki can do the difference. So we need to be careful, but they need to watch out as well. If they leave too much space, we have players up front that can do a lot of damage. So it's going to be a good game.
You mentioned Vardy a couple of times. There's small competition perhaps building between the two of you, top of the goal scorers chat.
Wow. It's good. I'm happy for him. You know, he deserved it. He's having a good season. But at the end of the day, you know, as a striker, you always want to score goals, and you know, on a personal level, you want to be on in the number 1 spot. So I think he's enjoying that moment, and you know, it's good for him. But for me personally, at the end of the day, if we win the game, and I score, for me, it'll be double as much feeling. But you know, we'll see what will happen in the game. I think for us, the most important thing is having the 3 points and look upwards in the league.
As somebody though who knows how tough it is to score in the Premier League, what does it say about Jamie Vardy that he was able to achieve that record he received recently?
Something special, to be fair. Scoring 11 goals on the bounce, was it? Yeah, it's something special. It really is. It's not easy. It's not easy as people think it is. You're playing against top defenders, defenders who are physically at the top. And, to score 11 goals on the bounce means that you have a lot of quality. Like Van Nistelrooy had 10. And, to do 11 is something special. It's really something special. And credits to him. He did a good job. And, I'm happy for him.
Snods, we've spoken enough about Jamie Vardy for me. Let's speak about this guy.
Oh, it's fantastic. He's on a great run of form. He must be giving opposition defenders nightmares because he's a big, powerful lad. Loves getting in the box, loves scoring goals. And I don't mind if he doesn't score on Saturday, but as long as we win. But this fella will want to score. There's no question about it.
He looks like scoring every time he goes out.
He does. He does. He's looking great at the minute. He's looking worth every bit of money we paid for him.
That's big Romelu Lukaku, and that's just about it for this week's Everton show. The Blues go into the weekend clash with Leicester City, just 3 points off 5th place in the Premier League table. Things can change quite quickly during the festive season, so what better time to start to turn draws into wins than now? We shall see. My thanks to Snods for joining us this week, and to all of you for watching. Please do join us again next week for our Christmas special. A very goodbye.